This is Riad Ouarzazi. We're coming you to the end of time. I'm just gonna launch the other app. Inshallah ta'ala, if you can just be patient. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm just launching the other apps. And I'm welcoming you to the end of time. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to carry on the talk about the minor signs. It'll be really, really interesting talk today, inshallah ta'ala. So hold on. يلا ها come on. One second, what is this now? Bismillah. There we go. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh, it's almost midnight there. Well, we're going to do Qiyam al-Layl here, inshallah ta'ala. Where are you, Sister Nora? What country is that? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What country is that? Here, it's almost midnight there. Assalamu alaikum. Ahlan, Sister Yasmin, do you want to be with me? Why not? I'll give you a chance if you want. Why not? You want to go live? Oh, no problem. Can you hear me just fine? Brothers and sisters, can you hear me just fine? Those of you here, can you hear me fine? Facebook? Can you hear me, inshallah, so I can start? London. Oh, okay. Netherlands, mashallah, Netherlands, and here. So, no problem. Can you hear me just fine, right? Yes, you can. And those of you there, okay, so when you're sending hearts, that means you can hear me. MashaAllah, quwwata illa billah. Jazakumullah khair, bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Riad Ouarzazi will come you to another series or another session of the end of time. The end of time, which this is session number 4, talking about the minor signs. If you remember, I mentioned this hadith yesterday and the day before yesterday, but let me recapitulate this hadith. The hadith of As-Sa'a, the hadith of Hudayfa ibn Yaman, Hudayfa ibn Usayd al-Ghifari, hadith reported by Sahih Muslim. I mentioned it, and I'm going to mention it again because it mentions the major signs. If you remember, I said that the signs are split into two main categories. We have minor signs and major signs. And I'm not here in this series just so that I can enumerate the minor signs or all the signs and just narrate them to you, but I'm here to mention them and derive lessons from them so we can discuss them, so that we can define them and discuss them and talk about them because they relate to what is going on with us here today. So just give me 1 second, inshallah ta'ala. I forgot to close the door. My office here, right there. Turn on the light. Here we go. I am here. I feel like you guys are with me here in my home. Yalla. So, Bismillah, let's start. The hadith is reported in Sahih Muslim, narrated by Hudayf ibn Asid al-Ghifari. When the Prophet ﷺ passed by the Sahaba and he found them discussing, talking amongst them, and he asked, "What are you talking about?" And then they said, "Ya Rasulullah, natadhakaru as-sa'ah." We're talking about the Sa'ah, we're talking about the hour, we're talking about the end of time. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "It shall not happen." Yani then he's talking about the hour. He's talking about the end of time, the Sa'ah. It will not happen حتى ترون قبلها 10 آيات, until you see 10 ayat. I need to start with this hadith as so that we can proceed talking about the minor and major signs at some point. But I want to talk about this hadith first. Ad-Dukhan, he mentioned Ad-Dukhan in this sequence. Ad-Dukhan meaning the smoke. So he mentions the smoke, he mentions Ad-Dajjal, the Antichrist, he mentioned Ad-Dabba, that animal, and as I mentioned before, I'm going to talk about all this in detail, inshallah. Every sign would maybe take us one session or two, maybe 1 or 2 lectures, or even more, depending. Ad-Dukhan, the smoke, the Antichrist, Ad-Dabba, الشمس من طلوع الشمس من مغربها, the rising of the sun from the west, نزول عيسى بن مريم, the coming of Isa بن مريم, عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته, the coming of Isa بن مريم, يأجوج and Ma'juj, Gogs and Magogs. And then he mentioned 3 eclipses, 1 eclipse in the east and 1 in the west and 1 in Jazirat al-Arab, in the Arab Peninsula. I'm going to talk all about them, inshallah. And then the final sign, the final 10th sign is nar, fire, which will come out from Yemen, precisely from Aden, as the capital of Yemen. تَطْرُدُ النَّاسَ إِلَى مَحْشَرِهِمْ. So these are the 10 signs or 10 signs that the Prophet Muhammad, the final one will be nar, will be a fire. With regard to al-alamat al-sughra, I mentioned that these alamat that we do not know when the sign will happen. None of us know. Even the Prophet Muhammad does not know when the sign or when the hour will happen, when the day of judgment will happen. But he knows of alamat. He told us about alamat. He told us about signs of the hereafter. And these signs are split into 2 categories. We have minor and major. Minor signs, علامات وقعت وانتهت. With regard to minor signs, there are some signs that have happened, يعني signs which have occurred in the past and are gone. خلاص, they have already occurred. And second type of minor signs, signs that have happened, that have occurred and are still occurring. يعني meaning they're still, presently they're still occurring. So the first type is types that have already occurred and gone. The second type of minor signs that are signs that have occurred and still occurring, in the present time. And the third type of minor signs are signs that have not occurred yet. Signs that have not happened yet. So these are 3 types of signs. As I mentioned as well, that there are some types of minor signs that will happen in accordance or there will be minor signs along with major signs happening together. Minor signs along with major signs happening together. So there's one type of signs. And like I mentioned yesterday, an example of the coming of Isa alayhi salam and Al-Mahdi. So Al-Isa is a major sign, and the coming of Al-Mahdi is not considered to be a major sign, but it is considered to be a minor sign. right? So the coming of Al-Mahdi and Isa, and both together will team up to kill Ad-Dajjal. So again, Ad-Dajjal is another major sign, and then you have Al-Mahdi as a minor sign. And then you have alamat of minor signs that will happen after all the major signs, will sort of like happen. After all the major signs happen, there's some minor signs, or one minor sign that will happen, and that minor sign is the wind. This very blowing wind that will take the souls of all the believers. And I will explain in detail about all these signs, inshallah ta'ala. So there are some signs that will come, minor signs, that will come along with major signs. And there are some minor signs that will happen after the major signs, just like the example of the wind, which I have mentioned. With regard to the minor signs, I've mentioned quite a lot. I've mentioned the death of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. I've mentioned the Fath al-Quds, the conquest of Jerusalem. I've mentioned that ta'un, that plague that will come and kill a great number of people. I've mentioned the excess or the surplus of money, of wealth, which all have happened. I mentioned the fitna that will not leave any Arab house, though that no Arab house will escape from. This tribulation that no Arab house will escape from. I also mentioned this truce, the truce that will happen between the Muslims and the Romans, Banu al-Asfar, which mean here the Romans, and this particular truce will lead to that war, because the Prophet Muhammad says that these Romans will betray the believers, and this huge war, this huge battle will happen, the happen of Armageddon, which I have mentioned and which I will still mention and talk about in detail, inshallah ta'ala. And then within that battle, a caller will come, an announcer will come, and he will say, there is a fitna which has happened, which is bigger than the fitna of this war. He will come and announce the coming of Ad-Dajjal. The coming of Ad-Dajjal. So this is with regard to some of the minor signs that have happened. Yesterday I started talking about the appearance of tribulations, al-fitan, the appearance of tribulation. And then there was this hadith which I wanted to mention, and then I said, okay, here's your cliffhanger. I will mention it today. So this hadith is narrated by Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman. Hadith reported by Muslim. I'm sorry, the hadith is reported by Muslim and narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar. Let me correct this. Abdullah ibn Umar is the one who narrates this hadith, and it is reported by Sahih Muslim. So listen please to this beautiful, beautiful hadith. How are you people doing, by the way? Are you okay? Brothers from Instagram, how are you doing? You're hanging in there, inshallah? Brothers and sisters in Facebook, are you hanging in there? Are you okay? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing well. All right, thank you for these thumbs ups and hearts. I'm just asking about you. كيف حالكم? كيف حالي? How are you? كيف حالي? You okay, brothers and sisters? Okay, mashallah. Good. Some of you are still, mashallah, although it's late where they are, but they're still hanging in there. The people from Facebook, they're not talking to me again. I don't know why. Alhamdulillah. Well, okay. Jazakallah khair, Humayra. I'm just asking to see how you all doing. Alhamdulillah. All right. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair. So, hadith narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar. Doing well. Barakallahu feek. Hala b'ukhti Yasmin. Hala. Reported by Muslim. نادى منادي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So at the time of the Prophet, when there is like some big announcement, someone will go off the roof or the top of that masjid, like where Bilal used to go and make adhan, and he will call as-salatu jami'ah, as-salatu jami'ah, as if he's calling for salah. As-salah, calling, there was no salah, but he's just calling as-salah jami'ah, so that he can, gather people to make that announcement. to get people to make an announcement. As-salatu jami'ah, as-salatu jami'ah. Alhamdulillah, Allahumma lak alhamd. We're great here. This self-isolation, somebody's asking, we're Allahumma lak alhamd, we're you see, you can learn to make a lemonade off of lemon. Make lemonade off of lemon. You always have to learn how to be optimistic. Look at all the good that are coming from this pandemic. Wallahi, I was still on reading and and doing some research. Amazing. I mean, there's this pandemic. I'm not belittling it. It's bad. It has caused a lot of death. But at the same time, I'm looking at all the good that this pandemic has done. It made us sit together, made us spend more time with our loved ones. Stopped the killing in Palestine. It stopped the killing in Syria. It stopped the killing in Libya. It stopped the killing in China. More people are praying. Even those who are not praying now, they're making wearing hijab and praying. Allahumma lak alhamd. Always make a lemonade off of lemon. Allahumma lak alhamd. So he called as-salat jami'ah, as-salat jami'ah. This scholar called as-salat jami'ah, as-salat jami'ah. And he's calling people for salah. He has an announcement to make. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, إنه لم يكن نبي قبلي إلا كان حقا عليه أن يدل أمته على خير ما يعلمه لهم وأن ينذرهم شر ما يعلمه لهم. He says it was a duty upon any prophet that Allah has sent down to earth. It is his duty to, if there is any good, to inform people about the good, and if there is any evil or bad, to warn their people about the evil and bad. So these are the job of the prophets, alayhim salatu wassalam, to tell us about the good and to warn us about the evil, alayhim salatu wassalam. Right? So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, وَإِنَّ أُمَّتُكُمْ هَذِهِ جُعِلَ عَافِيَتُهَا فِي أَوَّلِهَا. And then he says that this ummah, the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the best era, the best time of this ummah, the best nation, and because this nation has so many, this ummah, there's so many eras, there's so many times, and the best era of this ummah fi awwaliha, meaning in its beginning, which means also the beginning, meaning the time of the Khilafah, the time of Abu Bakr and the time of the Sahaba, and الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ, then those that will come after them, and those that come after them. And right after the death of the Prophet, the best of time are the time of being with, living with the Sahaba, the time of the Sahaba, the time of the companions. And right after the companions, the time of the predecessors. And after the predecessors, those that come after them, and so on and so forth. And then the Prophet Muhammad says, وَيَصَيُصِيبُ آخِرُهَا بَلَاء. And the end, yani the final ummah, the final time of this ummah before the day of judgment, there will be this tribulation, this bala, this tribulation that will be inflicted upon this ummah. May Allah not make it us. May Allah not make it us in our time. But the Prophet is saying, the end of the time, yani when the closer, as the time, the end of time getting closer and closer, the ummah will be inflicted with a tribulation, bala. وَأُمُورٌ تُنْكِرُونَهَا وَتَجِيءُ الْفِتْنَةِ فَيُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا. Allah, 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 Allah. He says, alayhi salam, وَتَجِيءُ الْفِتْنَةِ فَيُرَقِّقُ بَعْضَهَا بَعْضًا. He says that when at the very end, when the time, almost the end of time approaches, he says, there will be this humongous, this huge fitna that will be inflicted on this ummah. And then right after that fitna, right after that tribulation, there will be more other tribulations that will come. And each tribulation that comes, تُرَقِّقُ بَعْضَهَا بَعْضًا. Each tribulation that comes, the one prior to it will seem like it's something trivial. Huh? What? Yani this pandemic that is happening now, may Allah forbid, another tribulation will happen, I hope and I pray, not in our time. I hope and I pray not in our time. But the Prophet is saying, there will come a time where this ummah will be inflicted with tribulation, and right after that tribulation, another tribulation will come that will make the tribulation that happened prior to it, something trivial. Yani now we think that this pandemic, this coronavirus, is something that is cruel and bad and humongous, right? And the Prophet is saying there will be more tribulations to come that will make this coronavirus seem something wala shay, not something trivial. And again, we cannot say, is it something now? Is it in our time? Is it in 2030? Is it in 2025? Is it in 2040? Is it in 2100? Allahu Alam, 2100? Allahu Ta'ala A'lam. But this is towards the approach of the end of time. But listen, the hadith is not over yet. فَيَقُولُ الْمُؤْمِنُ هَذِهِ مُهْلِكَتِي هَذِهِ مُهْلِكَتِي. The believer will say whenever this, this tribulation will happen, be it this pandemic or whatnot, the believer will say, this is it, this is it, this is the killer, this is the destroyer. There is no worse pandemic than this. I don't think we will see anything worse than this. So the believer will say, anytime this fitna or the fitna will happen, he will say, this is it, this is the killer, this is the killer. ثُمَّ تَأْتِي الْفِتْنَةِ. And then another tribulation comes. And then the believer will say, no, this is it. Not that one, but this one. This is it. This is the killer. This is the muhlika. And then the Prophet says, فَمَنْ أَحَبَّ أَنْ يُزَحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَيُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ فلتأته منيته وهو يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر. You see, the Prophet ﷺ is giving us the way out. The Prophet, he doesn't just narrate the hadith and tell you about the fitan, he's telling you the way out. What's the way out, Ya Rasulullah? What is the way out? The way out is this. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, فَمَنْ أَحَبَّ, whoever wishes and loves to be saved from hellfire and to be admitted to Jannah, let him die while he is believing in Allah and the Yawm al-Akhir and the Day of Judgment. And Ya Allah, all of us here, all these people here, all these people in this social media here who are live with me, and all the Muslims, Ya Rabbil Alameen, whether those that we know and those that we do not know, we all admit that we believe in you and we believe in the Day of Judgment. The Prophet is saying, if you want to be, whosoever wants to be saved from hellfire and be admitted to Jannah, while all these fitan are happening, while all these tribulations are happening, let him not die unless he believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment. And as I said, Ya Rabbi, you are our witness. We all believe in you and we all believe in the Day of Judgment. So Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, he asked Prophet Muhammad ﷺ this amazing hadith reported by Bukhari and Muslim. Hadith reported by Bukhari and Muslim. Remember what I said about Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman in previous sessions? I said that Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, he is a man, he's a Sahabi that used to ask most of his hadith that he raised. He used to say that in Sahaba they used to ask about good and they used to ask about evil, fearing that it may happen to me, so I can know how to avoid it. Right? How to avoid it. I love these hearts. A lot of people are sending hearts. I love you back. I love you too, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair for sending those hearts. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. La ilaha illallah. So, Ya Rasulullah, listen to hadith of Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman. This is really nice. This is amazing because we learn. Remember, the essence of these lectures are not for me just to tell you, okay, here are stories, but for us to derive lessons and learn and discuss and assess, our situation today. So Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, he says, Ya Rasulullah, كنا في الجاهلية في شر وجاءنا الإسلام بالخير. He says, in Jahiliyyah we were living in evil. We were living in moral decay. Islam came with khair. Islam came with good. فهل بعد هذا الخير من شر? You see what I told you, sisters and brothers? Did you see what I told you, Hudayfa? The type of questions he used to ask? He says, Ya Rasulullah, in Jahiliyyah we were in total moral decay. Total Jahiliyyah, ignorance. And then Islam came with khair, came with good. Ya Rasulullah, would there be any evil after this good? Would there be any evil, any shar after this good, after Islam? He's scared. He's terrified. He's asking. The Prophet says, Na'am. Na'am, yes. Then he said, فَهَلْ بَعْدَ هَذَا الشَّرِّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. Then, Ya Rasulullah, after this evil, would there be good again, inshallah? Then the Prophet, I have goosebumps now. He says, Ya Rasulullah, when we used to live in Jahiliyyah came Islam. We're living in evil, and then Islam came with khair. Would there be evil after this khair? The Prophet said, yes. And then Hudayfa said, Ya Rasulullah, would there be khair, good after the evil? Would there be khair again? Then the Prophet said, yes. Said, yes. But he said, and this is what scares me. He says, Na'am, وَفِيهِ دَخَلْ. وَفِيهِ دَخَلْ. Meaning, this khair that will happen after the evil will not be pure. There will be temptations. There will be doubtful matters. This is why that khair, people will be in state of confusion. This is what's happening today. He says there will be good, but this good will not very pure. It will be there will be a state of confusion and temptation. And then he says, وَهَلْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الْخَيْرِ مِنْ شَرٍّ. Again he asks him the same question. And then after this good, which is mixed with bad, would there be another era of bad, of evil? Then the Prophet said, yes. Yes. What is it, Ya Rasulullah? What is it? Then the Prophet says, دعاء على أبواب جهنم من أجابهم إليها قذفوه فيها صفهم لنا يا رسول الله. سأل صفهم لنا يا رسول الله. صفهم لنا يا رسول الله. قال هم من جلدتنا ويتكلمون بألسنتنا حال قلوب الشياطين في جثمان إنس والعياذ بالله. He said, the Prophet said, yes, after that good, another evil will happen. And what's that evil? دعاء على أبواب جهنم. I think this is our time that the Prophet is talking about now. I think this is our time. The Prophet is saying, dua, callers, da'i, people who give da'wah, da'i, maybe on social media, maybe on the news, maybe dua, da'is. Da'is, the Prophet is saying, dua, ala abwabi jahannam, they're calling people to hellfire. They think they're doing good, but what they're doing is, in fact, they're calling people to hellfire. Man ajabahum, whosoever follows them and follows the ways, they will throw him into the hellfire. This is in fact these da'is, if you were to follow them, they will be sabab, they will be a reason for you to be thrown in hellfire. Then Hudayfa, he didn't just stay like that. No, he said, Ya Rasulullah, who are they? Sifhum lana. Describe them to us, Ya Rasulullah, so that we know who they are, so we can stay away from them. Describe them to us, Ya Rasulullah. He says, the Prophet says, Rijal min jildatina. There are people from us. They speak our language. So it is not like somebody who's who just embraced Islam or whatnot. These are people from us. If they say we're Arabs, some people who speak our language, people who are, our skin, our color, our background. So it's not, intruders. These are our own people. And we see this today in our social media and the news and whatnot. People from us, and you say, Ya akhi, are you Muslim or what? He's a Muslim. His dad is a Muslim. She's a Muslim. Her dad is a Muslim. Her parents are Muslim. Grandparents are Muslim. But they are calling now things that they are saying. He says, they are min jildatin. They are from us. They speak our language. People who say to people, do and they don't. These are the type of people, people like this Muslim woman, for instance, and the hadith I mentioned is sahih, in Sahih Muslim. It is authentic. This Muslim woman who said, she's a Muslim woman, who said, Tawheed wronged women. Sisters, have you heard about her? I'm not going to mention her name. She says, Tawheed wronged women. Islam wronged women. Why? Allah said, why? La ilaha illahu. Why? Why there's no God but Him? Why? La ilaha illahi. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Why? La ilaha. Why there is no God but her? Why? She's saying, she's a woman, and she's saying Islam has wronged women. She's saying, why? Testimony of his is there is no God but Him. Why not there is no God but her? And this is a Muslim. This is what the Prophet is talking about. Or that other man who said, give me a red pen, I will correct the Quran. Muslim, born Muslim, born Muslim. Give me a red pen, I will correct the errors in the Quran. This is what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Hudayfa didn't stop there. Hudayfa did not stop there. Hudayfa said, Ya Allah, فَمَا تَأْمُرُنِي إِنْ أَدْرَكَنِي ذَلِكَ. Rasulullah, what would you advise me if I was to live? If I were to live that time, that era, what would you advise me to do? And the Prophet ﷺ says, تَلْزَمْ جَمَاعَةُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَزِمَامُهُمْ. تَلْزَمْ جَمَاعَةُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَإِمَامُهُمْ. He says to stick with the jama'ah. Stick with the believers. Don't isolate yourself. Don't see yourself out and go and isolate yourself in some... La, stick with the believers. Stick with the jama'ah. Stick with your masjid. Stick with Imam. وَزِمَامُهُمْ. And then Hudayfa keeps asking. Barakallahu feek wa radiyallahu anka ya Hudayfa. I wanted to ask these questions, but Hudayfa has on my behalf and your behalf. He's asking, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ Ya Rasulullah, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ جَمَاعَةٌ وَلَا إِمَامٌ. How about if there was no jama'ah and no imam? If there's too many jama'at, we're confused now. There's too many jama'at and too many imams. This imam claims he's right, and this imam claims he's right, and this jama'ah claims he's right, and this jama'ah claims that they're right. What should I do then, Ya Rasulullah? Then if it is the case, the Prophet says, اعتزل تلك الفرق كلها وكلها ولو تعض بشجرة حتى يدركك الموت وأنت على ذلك. He says, then isolate yourself from all these deviated sects and deviated groups. Even if you were to hang on into a tree, hold on and adhere onto a tree until death comes to you. Isolate yourself. I hope inshaAllah ta'ala we're not in that time yet. We're not in that era yet, because there's still, Allahumma lakal hamd, jama'at, good jama'at, jama'at al-mu'mineen, jama'at al-ahl al-sunnah wal-jama'ah. They're still there, Allahumma lakal hamd. So it is not our time yet, but the Prophet ﷺ is giving us the prescription if something like that was to happen. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. All of you say, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. All of you send salutations to my Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. All of you, because the Prophet, the Savior, these things are happening, and we're worried, and we're concerned, and we're confused. What should we do? There you go. That's what the Prophet is telling you what to do now. When there is this pandemic, when there is this confusion, stick to the jama'ah. Stick to the group, stick to the jama'ah, be the group. Don't just say, I'm my jama'ah. La, stick to the group. And then, and only then, if there is no jama'ah, if all these sects are deviating or deviated, then stick even to a tree and isolate yourself from them until death comes to you. So all of you say salah upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala 10 times. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, again, Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman. In another hadith reported by Muslim, he said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "تعرض الفتن على القلوب." This is the era, the time of fitan, the time of tribulations and temptations. This is the time. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "تعرض الفتن," that temptations will be presented on the hearts. كعرض الحصير عودا عودا. Look at this meticulous description. This meticulous description of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so eloquent sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Temptations will be presented as reed maps or mat, as reed mat, like a mat, right? Like hasir. كعرض الحصير, stick by stick. You know when you make this mat, woven mat, you know, stick by stick, stick by stick, stick by stick, until you make this mat. You know, the mat, like this prayer mat, or that sometimes some, you know, you can find them in all type masajid, you will find this hasir. So the Prophet is giving you this analogy. He says that the fitan, tribulations or temptations will be presented on people's hearts as reed mat, woven stick by stick. فأي قلب أشربها نكتت في قلبه نكتة سوداء وأي قلب أنكرها وهذا هو القلب الأبيض. The Prophet Muhammad says, any heart which impregnate those fitan, because there are two types of hearts. The first type of heart, because the Prophet says that the fitan, the tribulations, and I'm going to give some examples, that these temptations will be present at the heart. Any heart who gets impregnated with this fitan, a black mark will be stuck in his heart or her heart. Any person who gets impregnated with these fitan, with these tribulations, it will leave a black mark on their heart. And any person who rejects these temptations, a white, a clear, subhanallah, a bright dot will be put in his heart, will be left in his heart. In examples, let me give you some examples. Subhanallah, sometimes you see something haram. Sisters and brothers, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Sometimes you may look at something haram, right? And then you think, oh, once I turn my, turn my head away, khalas, it's gone. You could be watching something haram, like on TV or maybe on your phone, watching it, and then you turn your phone off. Khalas, it's gone. You think it's gone. No, it's not gone yet. You go back to sleep at night. You close your eyes, or maybe you go into your salah, and in the midst of your salah, that scene will come to your eyes. As you go to sleep, that scene which you have seen on social media or TV or whatnot will just comes and drives through. Just like a drive-through, it will come. That's what the Prophet Muhammad is saying. Any heart or person which gets impregnated with these fitan, with these temptations, it will leave a dark, mark on their heart. And any person who rejects them, it will leave a bright mark in their heart. Sisters and brothers, this is why we need something called the heart of, the purification of the heart. This is my topic, so you know. Purification of the heart is my forte, alhamdulillah. I love talking about the purification of the heart. This is why we need التخلية or التحلية قبل التحلية. Who speaks Arabic? Sadiq, mashallah, al-Harbi, I think he speaks Arabic. There's some people who speak Arabic. التخلية قبل التحلية. تخلية means getting rid of the diseases of the heart, of the sicknesses of the heart, cleansing your heart before beautifying it. You need to cleanse it before beautifying it. Cleanse it from its, from the diseases, from the sicknesses of that heart. Cleanse it from anger, from envy, cleans it from hatred, cleans it from backbiting and backstabbing and gossiping. This heart needs to be cleansed from all the evil deeds, and then you can beautify it and purify it with love of Allah, with dhikr, with istighfar. This is the prescription that we need today, sisters and brothers, on how to purify our hearts. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. There are two types of temptation. If you can give me another 10 minutes, inshallah ta'ala, I will be done. If you can give me 10 more minutes, bi'idhnillah, just so I can mention the types of tribulations. There are two types of tribulations. There are two types of fitan. You have something called ashahawat and something called ashubuhat. Ashahawat means whims and desires. Whims and desires. That's true. Sister Rosma, purification of the heart. Whims and desires, this is the first type of fitna. And the second type of fitna, which is even worse than the first type, is the fitna of doubtful matters. And I will explain. The first fitna is the fitna of the whims and desires, meaning ash-shahawat, temptations. And the second type of fitna is the fitna of doubtful matters, meaning ash-shubuhat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ وَالْخَيْلِ زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ. It is coveted for man the love of temptations, such as what? Such as women. Brothers, would you agree with me? I'm a man and you're a man, and there is nothing to hide here. The Prophet is saying that, and Allah is saying that in the Quran. So if you say no, then I'm sorry to say that you're wrong. One of the fitna of man is women. One of the tribulations of man is women. Brothers, do you agree or agree? Brothers, do you agree or agree? You see, I'm giving you only one option. Do you agree or agree? Tell me. Talk to me, brothers. Talk to me. Jazakallah khair, Rosma from Malaysia. Malaysia is in the house. Tell me, do you agree or agree? Brothers, the fitna, one of the fitnas of man, one of the strongest tribulations of man is women. The fitna of women. I don't, you're laughing. No, I don't say to laugh. I say, tell me, agree or agree. Men are scared to tell me because maybe they're listening in front of their wives. Men are listening with their wives, so they are scared to respond. But I have a brave guy, Riad, he's saying agree. And Barakay says agree. And Rana Suleiman said he agrees. One wife, she says, my husband says he agrees. Yeah, she's the one who's conveying the message. Allahu Akbar. Agree, Ammar. Agree, Sadiq. Sadiq, big yes. Big yes. Agree. Naam, sahih. Agree. Even Razma, she's saying she agrees. Naam, true. It is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, he says, إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ. I mentioned that yesterday. Your wealth and your children are fitna. Right? Your wealth and your children are fitna. They are temptation. They are tribulations. Depending how you use your wealth. Depending how you treat your children. They could be fitna or they could be ni'mah. Your child, whatever he asks, you give. Halal or haram. I want this, you just go and get it. Your son will become fitna. He will become fitna. So is your wife or your spouse. He will become fitna. Halal, haram, I don't care. Just do it, do it, do it, do it. They're fitna. إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ fitna. Your wealth is fitna. Depending how you collect that wealth. It could be fitna or ni'mah. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ fitna. Allah Azza wa Jalla is again saying, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ fitna. Shar can be fitna. Shar, evil, can be fitna, tribulation. And khayr can also be fitna. Khayr, good, can also be fitna, can also be tribulation. عجبا لأمر المؤمن أمره كله له خير إذا أصابته سراء شكر وكان له خير وإذا أصابته ضراء صبر وكان له خير وليس ذلك لأحد إلا للمؤمن. When the Prophet Muhammad says how wonderful are the affairs of the believers, if he is faced by something good, he shows gratefulness and something good will come off of it for him. And if he's faced by something evil, he shows patience and something good will come out of it for him. So the believer is a winner in either case. The Prophet Muhammad, there's this beautiful saying. Listen to this saying. I researched it. Listen to this beautiful saying about your wealth, about your children, about your position. That could be ni'mah or fitna. Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi says, إذا كان المال يقربك إلى الله فهو نعمة وإن جمعته من الحرام والله يزيد والله سبحانه يزيد مالك فاعلم بأنها الفتنة بتوب النعمة. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. عجيب. Beautiful. He says إذا كان المال يقربك إلى الله فهو نعمة. If this wealth which you have been accumulating gets you closer to Allah, it is definitely ni'mah. Meaning that the wealth which you have accumulated, you are giving sadaqah, it's taking you for Hajj, it's taking you for Umrah, it's taking you to help out and whatnot, you're doing good with it, you're serving your family, you're serving your loved ones. So this wealth is ni'mah. But if this wealth which you have accumulated from haram, and the more you accumulate, the more money, subhanAllah, there's some people, there's more money. They have more money. But this money is coming from haram. He says, "I'lam," rest assured that this is a fitna with the garment of ni'mah. Because you may think it's ni'mah. You may think that this restaurant that you have and you are serving alcohol, right? You're serving alcohol and maybe you have a belly dancer in it as well. But you said, I'm serving halal food, right? And then you're making good money. You're making good money in this restaurant. Listen, he's saying that it is a fitna, it's a tribulation with the garment of a ni'mah. You think it's ni'mah, but in fact it is a tribulation. It is a fitna and you don't even know about it. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. But sisters and brothers, the worst type of fitna is the fitna of doubtful matters. Doubtful matters. What does it mean, doubtful matters? This is it happened in the past, and it is happening here today as well. Doubtful matters. What happened to the sects like Qadariyah, like Al-Mu'tazila, like Al-Murji'ah, like Al-Khawarij, right? What happened to them? The only thing how did they go astray? فهمهم عن الله ورسوله. They thought they understood. And they misinterpreted the hukm. They misinterpreted the ruling, and then they went astray. These sects. That's what happened to them. Doubtful matters. Doubtful matters led them astray. Doubtful matters like what? Doubtful matters like someone calling something haram halal. Haram halal. These sects that I mentioned here that went astray. So sometimes this is where the confusion happens. Confusion takes place when you have certain so-called quote-unquote imams giving this fatwa, such as, may Allah forbid, excuse me, but it happened when the imams in this Muslim country issued a fatwa. If a woman, she's working with you, and if you want that relationship to be halal, let her breastfeed you. I'm not joking. Wallahi, I'm serious. They issued a fatwa. You're working with a woman, so if you want that relationship with her working with you to be halal, let her breastfeed you. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Fitna. A big fitna. I mean, a guy go to be breastfed from a woman, they're working together, they're colleagues, but for that work to become halal kind of thing, let her breastfeed him. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit qulubana ala dinik. Please repeat this dua after me, all of you. Allahumma, please repeat after me. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit قلبي على دينك. I'm done with my session, but let me just repeat this dua. اللهم اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. The Prophet used to make this dua to the ones who, he's asking Allah Azza wa Jal, the one who turns and switches his hearts from kufr to iman and iman to kufr. Allah Azza wa Jal switches hearts. Today he's a believer, tomorrow he may not become a non-believer. Or this non-believer, you will become a believer. So the ones who switch these hearts from kufr to iman and iman to kufr, make my heart stand firm on your deen. Make my heart stand firm on your deen. This is dua which you have, supplicated Allah with now. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh Allah, to the one who switches hearts and turns them from kufr to iman and iman to kufr, make our hearts, all of us, make our hearts stand firm in your deen. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا دينا إلا قضيته، ولا ضالا إلا هديته، ولا مريضا إلا شفيته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا وقضيتها أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارفع بلاءك عنا، اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا، اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا، اللهم ارفع هذا البلاء عنا، اللهم ارفعه عنا، اللهم ارفع هذا الوباء عنا، اللهم احفظنا في أبداننا، اللهم احفظنا في أسماعنا، اللهم احفظنا في أبصارنا. لا إله إلا أنت. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الكفر والفقر ونعوذ بك من عذاب القبر. لا إله إلا أنت. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. Allahumma, oh Allah, we ask you, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, by your greatest name, that name by which if you are to be called, we shall give. We ask you to make our hearts stand firm in your deen. Make our hearts stand firm in your deen. Ya Rabbi, save us from all these tribulations and save us from all the temptations. Save us from all the afflictions. Save us from any harm and from any evil, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Save us and our loved ones from any harm and any evil, Ya Rabbil Alameen. You are Al-Hafid, you are a protector. You are the protector. Allahumma protect us. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Hafid. حرصنا بعينك التي لا تنام وكنفنا بكنفك الذي لا يرام. اللهم يا حفيظ احفظنا، يا حفيظ احفظنا. You are the protector and no one can protect other than you. Protect us يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Jazakumullah, sisters and brothers. In fact, there is more fitan that I want to talk about. There is more fitan, there's more tribulations that we are witnessing today, presently. I'm going to talk more about them, inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow. For now, I am done. If you have any questions, it's really a pleasure to see you all. I mean, not see you, but for you to be here. It really makes me happy to see you here. So, any questions, inshallah ta'ala, sisters and brothers? Any questions? Any comments, maybe? Not even questions, any comments that you want to share with us, inshallah? This session will be saved both on Facebook and on Instagram. وإياكم وإياكم جزاكم الله خير وإياكم وإياكم. Thank you for your du'as. Thank you for your du'as. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. بارك الله فيك يا أخ صادق. جزاك الله خير. جزاكم الله خير. Any comment, suggestion, any question? If not, then وإياكم who's this? وإياكم Asma. One. Can I access yesterday's? Yes, it's 24 hours on Instagram or on Facebook. You can come because Facebook keeps them. I think it always keeps them here. They don't delete them. So on Facebook they are kept. On Instagram they are kept for 24 hours. So you still have time to go back and listen to yesterday's live session, inshallah. If you're on Instagram, but on Facebook they're always there. Any question or any comment or anything you want to say? Jazakumullah khair. Abu Turab. Abu Talab, what time will you be doing this again? Tomorrow, ta'ala, I don't know who's Abu Talab. If I'm Abu Talab, nah, I'm from Turab, like the Prophet said, Turab. Tomorrow, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, 6:30 p.m. Toronto, New York time. Jazakallah khair, barakallah fik, Ameen, Ukhti Nora, Ameen, Sister Nora. Jazakallah khair for everything. Jazakallah khair, sister. Thank you. Ameen, Sumia, Yesumiyakso. Jazakallah khair, thank you. Jazakallah sister. Goba 55. Why people use these very tough names or nicknames? Giving an online lecture again. Yeah, tomorrow, every day. This is daily. This is daily, inshallah ta'ala. Daily. Tomorrow again, 6:30 p.m. inshallah ta'ala. Okay? And tomorrow we'll make dua because tomorrow is Friday. Yes, tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow we'll be making a long dua inshallah ta'ala. Inshallah. Tell others to join. Tell others to join us tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday. So we'll give the lecture, and right after the lecture, we're making that dua, inshallah. Alrighty? Jazakumullah khair, barakallah fikum. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Looking forward to tomorrow's lecture. Me too. Me too, Quraishi. Jazakumullah khair. Alright. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. How do your money is fitna or ni'mah? I mentioned that, right? I mentioned it. Depending on how you collect, how you accumulate the money, if this money is being accumulated from halal and you're using it for halal, you're using it to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, you're giving sadaqah with it, you're traveling, hajj, umrah, taking your family, enjoying them, and taking care of them, with that money, then it's ni'mah, inshallah ta'ala. It's fitna if that money which you have accumulated leading you to do something haram, then it's a fitna. And Allah knows best. All right? جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. وإياكم سيستر نورة وإياكم. يا هلا بأخ نعيم. جزاك الله خير شيخنا الفاضل. بارك الله فيك. I hope these will be recorded so you can have them inshallah, brother Naeem. جزاك الله خير for joining.